our approach so that that business owner can see an increasingly larger business growing. So we want to grow our mind, grow our ability to think big in order to grow our bottom line, which is the gross revenues of our business. So growing minds, growing organizations, and I'll come back to that in a minute. But not only the MBDO, but the MBE, that's Minority or Multicultural Business Enterprise. That's the individual members of these organizations and those who choose to work with us. Now, you hear me going back and forth between minority and multicultural, and if you were in one of our earlier presentations, you know we had a big discussion about that word minority, and I took it upon myself to make the proclamation, everybody's in the mainstream now. So there is no, we have no more minorities. The only problem with that is federal government did not get the memo, and when they start talking about census data, hi, how you doing?
Oh, fine, Skip, how are you?
I'm doing just wonderful, better now that I see you. You know, in order to apply for cities, states, counties, to apply for ensuring that the entire region participates to its fullest capacity in the global economic system. So that's what it's all about, and the Strategic Alliances Committee is that committee that we've asked to task us with ensuring that we're growing small businesses and I would say especially businesses of color. Now, after having said all that, we want all small businesses to feel like you can come here and you can learn how to make your business grow in the Pacific Northwest, so that the employees, everybody realizes, well, and especially the customers, that no matter who comes into our store, we want them to feel valued and welcome. And we want to be a cross-cultural business. We want to sell chicken to everybody that can possibly make it to one of our restaurants to buy it. And furthermore, we're going to develop a catering business, so those that can't make it, we'll take it out to them. Am I right or wrong, Lord?
It's in the process right now.
I know. Over the weekend, you were taking chicken to somebody. So the challenge has been, how do we all get in the mainstream? And traditionally, we get in the mainstream by joining what we call an MBDO, or Minority Business Development Organization, such as the Filipino Chamber, the Greater Seattle Chinese Chamber, the King County Hispanic Chamber, the Tabor 100. Lewis is a member of the Tabor 100. Glenn Gregory's a member of the Tabor 100. You're right, there are several members. Art's a member of Tabor 100. So let's flip over to the next thing.
Start a business, we don't actually sit down and actually focus on that. And that actually sets the tone for how you're going to grow your business, how you're going to grow. And I thought that was a very clear and concise, and I thought that was a very important statement you made at the beginning.
Differentiators. I think a lot of times you find ourselves in the same space without really clearly defining what makes whatever it is that we do different.
Okay.
And
I'm in here. Thanks, Rick. Okay, yeah, Devin, go ahead.
The part about marketing to a local area with the television, I do yard work myself, and I can't go all the way out to Everett because I don't have a truck, but I can do the local shoreline area and being able to put up, I mean, you said the minimum is like 500 at least. Being able to put up something like that and saying, hey, look, I can come to your area and just broadcast in my local areas would be helpful.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
it's geo. It's
Geo.
Yeah.
Got it. Geo.
And I think that inspires all of us to think, how can we be more innovative when spreading our brand around and spreading our message. One thing I want to say to Lynn, you talked about making partnerships, but not because you're a multicultural business, but because you're the best. I think that the multicultural business end is going to open those doors for you and provide opportunities, but you keep those relationships because you are the best.
Right.
They're not going to talk to you if you aren't the best. So I think that's the best way to look at it.
Right. Let those who know do, because we get so caught up in our own vision and where we want to go and how we want to do it, and it may not be the best way to do it. And so I'm going to take that back to my board, to our board, and share that.
Lewis, thank you so much for your time. And Skip, something you had really said actually resonated, which is how do you build that trust? Because all the work that I do really on this level is people that I know and friends of mine that trust my expertise. But when I'm saying, okay, this is a really great idea for promotion, but here's how you can make it better, and he's like, well, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it my way. And so it's just just was really helpful for me to think, like, okay, how do I really get them to buy into, you know, my expertise and listening to me, and to just kind of get them to trust that I do know what I'm doing, and that, you know, if they know their business, I know this side of it, and, you know, let me help them, and I'm not trying to take away from what their vision is and trying to make it
I
better.
thought you did a great business plan, how you started out with the industry. You got to know your industry, you got to know your competitors first, and know your customers, and then you go to the marketing step.
I mean, you look at, you know, they've been instrumental in connecting with the community. They said, hey, we're willing to do this if you're willing to do that. They've always been there. They're probably one of the more powerful brands in Seattle, especially in the minority communities. And their brand may be bigger than the revenues. I mean, that's the thing that we gotta build the revenues to meet the brand image. But again, I just think it's a great example of how you can do it right.